Hi, Dr. Ron Benson. Today's April the 8th, 2020. We're still in the middle of this COVID, but we're seeing the good news. Worst case scenario, millions of deaths. Best case scenario, less millions of deaths. Right now the numbers are even coming under the best case scenario. So this thing's really turning out to be a lot less than we expected. Not making light of it, we're still not out of the woods, but we should probably peak in California in the next week and then slowly come out of it. We're all going to be exposed. If you are elderly ill, you still stay at home. You need to be sheltered in place. But last week we were talking about Louis Pasteur and Claude Bernard. Louis Pasteur, who said it's the germ that's going to make you sick, and Claude Bernard, they're both MDs back in the 1800s. Bernard was the one that literally Pasteur on his deathbed said, "Bernard, you were right," because Bernard said you got to be healthy. If you're healthy, you're not, the germ doesn't matter. It's not gonna, and we have seen that in science studies. Science has proven that conclusively. So we're worried about this germ, but what you got to do is figure out how to get your immune system up. So what we're going to do today is talk about some of the things we need to do, because life is full of stress. Stress is a fight or flight response, and that means you've got one chance to save yourself, which takes you out of the cortex where you think, and it puts you into your hindbrain where you're just reacting. Now, when we get stuck in there, we call that sympathetic overload syndrome, SOS, and the stress, the sympathetic, dumps out the cortisol. That's the action to save your life, jacks everything up, pumps up the blood pressure, pumps up the heart rate, gets the muscles working so you can fight the tiger. You run away from the tiger because you got 30 seconds to live or die. But the problem is when we get stuck in that sympathetic overload, it drives the cortisol all the time. We end up with a decreased immune system. So what we're saying is the fear that we're experiencing right now is driving stress, and that is causing you a decreased immune system. So when we're teaching wellness, we always talk about DREAM: diet, rest, exercise, adjustment. Remember, adjustment is critical for your body to move and resist gravity environment and keep your nerve system freed up, because if you have subluxations, then you're not only going to have damage in your spine, but it's going to damage your nerve. M is mindfulness. That's the mental stuff, and that's really what we want to talk about today. So fear is the problem. So some of those mental stress answers are stop doing. Here's what we need to stop doing: watching the news. Yeah, I jump on there once a day. I just want to see the numbers. But what I don't want to hear is fear. Get off the news, get off social media, stop reading fear. The numbers are way better than we expected. We're doing way better than we expected. This is going to be over much shorter than they're predicting. They're probably going to try and keep us shut down longer than we should, but that's driving us into another depression, which that's what's causing me more fear. So stop watching the news. Stop doing stuff that stresses you out, because it's going to lower your immune system. I went to the store yesterday, and people won't even look you in the eye anymore. I mean, it used to go to the store, and if you caught someone's glance, you'd smile and say hello. Now, we're even afraid to look at each other. That's crazy. This is ruining society. Get back to saying hi and smiling at people. But some of the answers are meditation. We sent out a link on meditation, the one that I do. It's 20 minutes long. It's a great one. We'll attach it when we send it out in the email. But there's Calm. That's a great app. There's Let's Meditate. That's another great app. Affirmations. Keeping your mind positive, because one of my favorite books, a doctor mentor of mine, Talking to Yourself is Not Crazy. What he means is we got to positively get the computer working. So here's the one in our office, and we hand this out in almost all of our talks, especially when we go outside, when we're talking stress. I release all disease from my body and welcome health, love, happiness, and abundance into my life. You need to be saying positive stuff like that to get you out of fear, to get you out of stress. Otherwise, your immune system is going to go down and you're going to get sick. I also use some mindfulness cards. So every day I kind of shuffle the cards and I pull one out. This is my one from today. People are naturally attracted to me and my business flourishes. The clients I seek are seeking me. My business draws in new people every day. I am exactly what they are looking for. So I've got 2 sets of those cards. I get one out of the blue box and one out of the green box. The green box one today, what I focus on, I think about. And that's exactly what we're talking about with stress. You focus on fear, you're gonna get stressed, you're gonna get sick. The very thing you're worried about is what you're gonna get. What I think about, I bring about. Always remember that one. If you're in pain and you're thinking pain, 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 guess what you're gonna get? You're gonna get more pain. I think increasing abundance. My thoughts dwell on prosperity and opening the channels of supply. So those are affirmations. Prayer. Nothing better than prayer. And I love reading positive books. One of my favorites, you always hear me talking about the 100-Year Lifestyle. This is about the quality of life, the steps you need to do to have quality of life and not end up sick. Because who's dying right now? If you're old and you're sick, you need to be worried about this germ going around. If you've made yourself healthy, if you've built things, my other favorite author, Jim Rohn, and Dr. Guy Reekman, you can see from this one, I've got all my marking places in here. This guy's amazing. He's been a mentor of mine for about 30 years. The guy's amazing. We love him. Make your life extraordinary. So I've gone back to my bookshelf. I've pulled out my old books and I'm reading some positive stuff because we gotta stay positive. We've gotta stay out of fear. Fear leads us to where we don't want to go. So I think that's an important thing today. You have a picture of my favorite affirmation. Read that daily, 3 times a day minimum. So thanks for watching.